Hi, Casey. Good afternoon. It's Grandma Tina here. Mwah. I love you, love you, love you so, so much. Guess what? It's story time again. This time, we're going to read Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. He wrote this whole story and he drew all the cool pictures. There's lots and lots of pictures in this one. See, I told you, so many colors, right? Where the wild things are. Look, there are some of the wild things right there. And there's Max. This is a story about this little boy, Max, and he goes on a great adventure. You ready? The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. Oh, look, he made a tent. He made a fort in his room. Oh, but he looks like he's pounding holes in the walls. And another. Look at that. He's chasing the poor dog down the stairs. Uh-oh. His mother called him a wild thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." And so he was sent to bed without eating anything. Look at that. Max doesn't look very happy, does he? That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. Do you see the forest growing in his room? There's trees. There's the moon right there. And grew. Goodness, look at it's a forest. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. Look at that. Max is running around in his own little forest. Oops, we skipped a page. Oh. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through the night and day. Look at that. Max is sailing in the ocean. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. Oh, look at that. There's a wild thing in the ocean. And there's Wild Max in his boat. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. What does your wild thing face look like? Arr. Right? We know how to be wild things. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with a magic trick of staring into all of their yellow eyes without blinking once. Do you think you could do that? You think you could stare into the eyes of the wild things without blinking once? And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all. Wow, look at that. And they made him the king of all the wild things. Well, look at that, King Max. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. And they danced around. Look at all the wild things are doing. They're running around and dancing under the moon. And there's Max. Look, there's Max, yelling the loudest of them all. And now they're hanging and swinging from the trees in the forest. And there's Max right in the middle, swinging the most. Let's see what else they did. Oh, here's some more. Oh, look at that. Now all the wild things are carrying Max around on their shoulders, and he is the king. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely. and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Oh, there's Max. He's getting a little lonely. Who do you think he misses? Then all around, from far away, across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. There he is, leaving all the wild things on their island. And sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day, and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. Look, there's Max's supper in his room. It's just his room again. And he looks a little sleepy, doesn't he? And it was still hot. The end. That's Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. That's one of your Uncle Tyler's favorite books. I love you, Casey. Mwah. We'll see you next time.